Breaking news coming out of Cleveland as a handful of players on the Browns roster have been placed on the COVID-19 list. Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson. Some bad news coming out of Cleveland, like I mentioned. This is never what you want to see. It's been a tough last 2 years across the world, and of course, sports have not been immunized, as Aaron Rodgers would say, to it. But Ian Rappaport tweeted this out, saying the Browns are now in enhanced COVID-19 protocols, placing guard Drew Forbes, tight end Austin Hooper, wide receiver Jarvis Landry, tight end Takkarist McKinley, guard Wyatt Teller, and it goes on. Tackle Jedrick Wills on the list. No QB Baker Mayfield as of now. That last sentence was very interesting to me. As of now, I don't know what he was intending by that, but it makes it seem like the door might be open on more tests coming through on that side, which would be, just the nail in the coffin. Even Case Keenum out there actually maybe not be as bad as I think. I'm talking myself into it a little bit more just because we saw him play pretty well in his one start this year, but you can't take a completely gutted team and toss a backup quarterback in there just to make things worse. But here are the 5 essential starters on that list. Takkarist McKinley kind of rotates around with Clowney, but we'll include him as a starter for this. Austin Hooper, so we're going to see a lot of David Njoku. Jarvis Landry, as this wide receiver room has been just gutted, right? Between Rashard Higgins not playing that well, a healthy scratch, OBJ saga, and now you have Landry, who got his first touchdown in like a year last week. It's just been tough for the Browns. Wyatt Teller and Jedrick Wills on the offensive line. We'll check out that depth chart in just a second. But 5 starters, like I mentioned, on the COVID-19 list. This is going to be tough to overcome. It really will be. There's no other way around it because when you're already down a couple guys and with all the injuries they've dealt at, and we'll look at the injuries later, and you tack this on, it seems just a mountain too high to climb. So let me ask this question to you guys. I already know the answer. Type me if you hate COVID. For so many reasons I don't have to list, but when it comes to sports, and for a lot of people, we like to call it an escape from your regular daily life and the ups and downs of it, it sucks when it impacts that because this team, it's a factory of sadness in Cleveland. And last year was so much fun. You go to the playoffs, you beat the crap out of the Steelers on the road. When you're dealing with COVID issues then, no Stefanski. And then this year, things haven't really gone to plan. But right now, you feel like we're about to hit a stride, beat the Ravens at home, make a playoff push, and then this mountain of shit falls on it. So spam it down below. Baker Mayfield, back to him. I think he's, what do I know? I think he's safe for now. That Rappaport tweet maybe kind of hinted at something else, but we'll wait and see. As of right now, as of when I film this, and I'm looking at TweetTech right now, Baker is safe from it. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. Let's go depth chart by depth chart here, starting with the wide receivers. If there's no Landry, so let's just assume, by the way, all these guys are out Sunday. I don't know what their vaccination status is for each and every single one of them. I know they all tested positive, and unless they get 2 negative tests 48 hours apart, 24 hours apart, they are not playing on Sunday. Saturday. Make things worse. They play on Saturday, not even Sunday. So no Landry. Higgins will have to play. Schwartz, by the way, still in concussion protocol. And JoJo Natson also on the COVID-19 list. So I'm thinking a lot of 13 personnel, okay? 1 wide receiver with Donovan Peoples-Jones. Now at the offensive line, let's break this down a little bit more. You're going to be likely out of Wills and Teller. So I think you put Hance at Jedrick Wills. That's easy. And then you put Nick Harris, the 5th-round pick from last year, at Teller's spot. And you hope Dunn and someone else from the practice squad and someone who's vaxxed you can sign off the street right now can make you up for your 7th offensive line and pray no one gets hurt, because that's how it's going to look right there on the offensive line. I think you move Hance up to Wells' spot, and I think you put Harris over at the right guard. No, that's what you do. That's what you do. I think that's what you do if you're Stefanski. But Browns fans, when breaking news happens, look at me. I'm out of breath. We've been moving fast here. It is like it's making, elves over in the North Pole look slow for how quickly we mobilize to get this video out as soon as possible. So help us reach 3,500 subscribers today. We're right there. We're knocking on the door. Subscribe if you have not already. And if you have, we appreciate you being a part of what I think is one of the best Cleveland Browns channels on YouTube. On to the tight ends. No Hooper. I would think so. Njoku and Bryant, and Harrison Bryant has been dealing with an ankle injury, so that's awesome because what's one more? Njoku, who, by the way, has been the Browns' leading receiver all season. I think Landry may have caught up to him, but Njoku takes over as a tight end one spot. He kind of already has been, but still. Hooper had a nice touchdown last game. So just when you think you're getting something out of the guy that you gave a ton of money to in the offseason, you deal with this shitstorm. On to the defensive line now. You have most of your key pieces right there. It's Takkarist McKinley that's likely going to be out on Saturday. So the good news is at least Clowney had a great game last week against the Ravens. So Garrett and Clowney can hopefully hold down the ship, although you like to get a three-man rotation from that edge rusher's pass rusher's spot. And then in the middle is relatively untouched, and they're going to need to have a great day because they got to pick up the slack for all the shortcomings the Browns are inevitably going to be facing. Here's the good news. You probably didn't think you'd hear that today. The Browns have been here before. We all remember the playoff game. No Stefanski, Ronnie Harrison's out, but the leader, the coach of the year, is out of the game, and you still manage to find a way to win on the road and really kick the Steelers' ass. They've been here before. I'm not counting them out. It is the NFL. COVID has been weird, but you just don't know what to expect. And the good news is you're playing the Raiders, the most catastrophic of a organization that has been a swirling pile of crap all season long. You don't know what to expect out of them, except they are unpredictable. They looked awful last week in Kansas City, got blown out by the Chiefs. So you catch a bit of a break that you're not playing a better team this week. Also, make sure you get this hat deal right now, because here's the deal at Fanatics. They have it 25% off. I saw Baker Mayfield repping this hat after a game. Looked pretty cool to me. It's honoring veterans. We love the military at Chat Sports. So check it out, chatsports.com/Browns hat. $24. Get it 25% off. That link is right there. You get it by Christmas. I'll have it in the comments and the description of this video, so make sure you get on that today. Speaking of the Raiders, here's the matchup. Vegas has definitely just yanked this off the books right now. Browns were 2.5-point favorites. The over was 42. I am shocked if you can find it anywhere right now, as the odds makers in Vegas are scrambling to get new lines out, but they're pulling the plug. But 4:30, it's on Saturday. I keep reminding myself it's not a Sunday. It's college football Saturday, basically, with the Raiders. So that's what we got coming up on tap for this weekend. With this game in mind, predict the score for me. Who do you got? I can understand why you'd want to go against the Browns. I'm not giving up. I'm still believing in Cleveland. So let me know what your score predictions are down below, because, like I said before, it's a good thing the Browns are playing the Raiders. The Raiders have been very, underwhelming since their 3-0 start. I said before, one of my biggest, harping pieces is that the Raiders are the Raiders. You know who they are, and that is an underwhelming football team that is going to fall apart down the stretch, and they've done it before, and they are doing it again. Just keep your fingers crossed that the Raiders don't decide to come out and play their best game of the season and look more like the Raiders last week, because the Raiders last week would lose to the Browns with all this COVID issues this upcoming week. The Chiefs went up 35-0, okay? The Browns, even with all this stuff going on, can beat that Raiders team. But it's the NFL. It's any given Sunday. And here's some more injury news coming from Cameron Justice, who does a great job following the Browns. On top of all the COVID stuff, here's the injury stuff. Troy Hill, most likely not going to play. He's out of the knee, along with Kareem Hunt with an ankle injury. So big day for Nick Chubb. Malik Jackson, he's going to be dealing with a knee injury, so forgot about him also. Greg Newsome, and Anthony Schwartz both dealing with concussions. Not likely, it appears that either of them are going to play. So those are 5 injuries just on top of these 5 players on the COVID list. So Hooper, Landry, McKinley, Teller, and Wills to wrap it all up here. Those 5 starters, 4 starters plus McKinley, so 4.5 we'll call it, out for, I would say most likely out for Saturday. Short week. It's Tuesday. You need negative tests 24 hours apart. If one comes back, that's great. But I would bank on all 5 being out, plan for the worst, and be happy if you get one of them back.